In 2024, my 10-piece jazz ensemble, the Symposium Dectet, recorded 3 original jazz compositions. And I thought it might be interesting to take you through our process, including band layout, mic positioning, mixing and mastering, and let you hear the results. Being a fan of many of the great classic big band and ensemble recordings of the 50s and 60s, I wanted to try and recreate a natural sound as possible with all of us playing together in the same room. This of course has some challenges, as editing and post-production are more difficult due to ambience and bleed from other instruments. But one of the main positives is the ability for the players to perform well, as conditions and interactions are more similar to a rehearsal or regular gig. With this in mind, we also recorded without headphones and tried to position ourselves so we could hear each other well in the room. So here is how we positioned ourselves in the room. Shout out to Dave Cooper for being the audio engineer, and thanks to Michael Bell, who was the producer during the session. We roughly placed ourselves in a U shape, or a C from this angle, with the drums and bass at the bottom. The rhythm section is nice and close to each other, and everyone can see the conductor. You often see a similar configuration for big band recordings. We put 3 winds on one side, and the 4 brass on the other. The piano was outside the U on the low stage with its lid open and facing outwards. This allowed for pretty good separation from the band and visibility to the conductor. Dave Cooper, the engineer, put these baffles up behind and beside the drums to help with any nasty reflections from the back wall, and to protect the bass mic a bit. I always find capturing nice bass sound with a microphone in the same room as the ensemble challenging, and of course we recorded it with a DI as well, just to be safe. From layout we lead to mic placement and microphones, because one of the reasons for this layout is that with ribbon mics, which often sound really good on horns, suit this type of positioning. It means you get great separation from the player just next to you, and the performer at the rear of the ribbon mic polar pattern is quite a bit further away. This generally worked really well for the horns, especially considering some of them are next to the drums. Here's what the tenor sax soloed sounds like. And here is the tuba in quite a loud tutti section. That's pretty good separation, isn't it? Of course it's not perfectly isolated, but adjusting the volume and equalization is perfectly doable. The piano was recorded with 2 cardioid mics, and the drums with 2 small diaphragm condensers, a snare and bass drum mic. The flute and bass clarinet for 2 of the 3 pieces were a particular challenge, as they are the quietest instruments in the room, so to combat this they were mic'd quite closely. In loud sections it was difficult to edit them freely. Here is the flute mic in a loud section. And here is the same performer playing the bansuri in a quieter section. Michael Stavro, in his book Mixing with Your Mind, writes about turning spill into ambience, and I think this is a great way of thinking about recordings like this. As I was mixing the pieces, I noticed that having one or more distant mics open, as well as the close mic, made the instrument sound bigger. The close detailed sound was captured, and a more distant reflection or natural reverb was captured as well. It's subtle, but it's definitely there. Have a listen to this example with the brass section. First I'll only have their solo mics on, and then I'll add an open mic from one of the winds. No reverb is used in this example. It's nice, isn't it? In the mixing stage, I put together our best takes with the help of the notes from our session producer, which saved me so much time. And actually most of the takes were pretty good. There generally wasn't too many different takes in each final piece. I spent a lot of time balancing each track as this was what I had the most control over. Then I applied some panning and EQ where it was needed, just cleaning up some parts where it was possible. I applied very gentle compression in some instances, but not too much as it's meant to be dynamic music. As usual, the drums probably received the most compression. And I used one reverb for all three pieces that I felt combined well with the room we recorded in, altering the settings and length to match the tempo and feel. I sent it to John McLaggan at Parachute Mastering to master it for me, and he did a great job. Well, what do you think? If you have any questions or comments, just put them down below. If you're interested, I'll probably make another video outlining some of the cool orchestration moments of these pieces. Before I end the video, I'll play some short but particularly nice moments from the recordings. And of course, you can hear the full pieces here on YouTube and purchase the tracks on Bandcamp. I'll put links in the description.